Hi guys, today's video is about my scale model making, which is the Mandaya house in Pearl Farm Beach Resort located in Davao and designed by architect Manyosa. For the layout, I draw a 1:50 plan for my scale model. Then naglagay ako ng illustration board sa ilalim ng layout and then I trace it. Ganito yung ginawa ko para din ako sukat ng floor plan. Afterwards, I started cutting it and dapat magagaan lang ang cutting stroke para di masira ang board. Uulitin ito ng ilang beses until matapos and always be careful when cutting. So let's check kung sakto ba siya sa layout. Foam board for the building form. Kasama na dito yung roof and the wall as well. I cut it based sa shape ng layout na ginawa ko and na-research ko na rin. Ayun guys, tapos na siya. Napagdikit-dikit na yung walls and yung roof. Kasama na din dyan yung flooring. Ayan, this is the shape of the roof. And this is the window and the terrace. Now, since the building form is done, I just have to paste the finishing materials on the foam board. I used sawali from Bilao and bamboo skewers as well as barbecue sticks. So these are the main material. Start with, I used bond paper to trace the shape of the roof. Afterwards, I began pasting the bamboo skewers on the paper. Sa ganitong paraan, mas madali kong madidikit ang finishes sa wall since nakadikit na ito sa bond paper. While pasting, make sure to cut the excess. The roof looks like this and the finishing material is split bamboo. Once done, cut it based on the roof layout. Then, paste the bond paper on the foam board until it is fully covered. Then, paste a strip of sawali from the bilao in between the layers of the bamboo skewers to hide the ugly spaces in between and to emphasize the layer. This time, just repeat the process on the other side of the roof. Paste the bamboo skewers on the foam board, then paste the sawali in between layers of the bamboo skewers. This is the top view of the roof. Here's my reference for the wall design, and this is the finished product. Bamboo stakes are used as finishes. I'm pasting materials on the bond paper. Yan, tapos na siya. Now, let's do the other sides of the wall. I used toothpicks for the wall details. Afterwards, paste it on the foam board using stick well. So, kailangan fitted ang pagkakadikit para maging sakto yung corners ng wall. For the reflection, gumupit na lang ako sa magazine, then paste it on the bond paper again. At saka ko siya pinatungan ng acetate. So, this is the other side of the wall, but this time, let me show you how I did the wall details. First, kinupit ko ang toothpicks into small pieces using side cutter based on the reference. Then, I paste it on the bond paper and use tweezers para malagay yung maliliit na parts. Kailangan dito is steady yung kamay mo para hindi magalaw-galaw yung pattern. So, after finishing the pattern, cut the excess. And add some reflection and barbecue sticks as the window sills. Then paste it on the foam board once more and make sure that all sides fits perfectly. So nalagyan ko na ng sawali yung wall sa baba and hindi ko na siya na-videohan kasi nalobat na yung phone. So dito, didikit ko na lamang yung columns and window sills, which is yung barbecue sticks. Ang ginagawa ko ngayon is yung sa sliding window and I'll just paste acetate and barbecue sticks. So, Ayan guys, tapos ko na yung wall finishes and I'm so happy. For the railings, I used toothpicks as the main material. 1 meter yung haba nila in 1:50 scale. So I need to cut the toothpicks, then gupitin yung dulo nila. Just like what I did with the previous finishes, I'll paste the tip of the toothpicks on a bond paper para mapantay ko sila and at the same time, para madali na lang itong idikit sa structure. Nag-leave din ako ng spaces in between gaya ng karaniwang railings na nakikita natin. Guys, tapos na siya and dinikit ko na siya sa structure. Mukha na talaga siyang railing. So here's another view of the structure. Afterwards, for the finishing touch, pinarnisan ko yung structure and ang ganda niya tingnan. Just make sure na all parts ay nabarnisan, and if you're not satisfied, you can let it dry and add another coat of varnish later. So I used twigs mula sa halamanan ng aming kapitbahay for the stilts. It looked like this. Its height is 2 meters and I cut it based on the layout. So I pasted it on the illustration board ng nakapatayo, and para di siya magalaw-galaw, place some thumbtack sa ilalim nito. So ganito yung itsura niya. Here's the railing and the canopy. For the first layer, I used tyro and scraps from foam board. So para ko ditong nagpapase looking for parts na mag-fit. Medyo matagal bago ako dito natapos, mukha lang mabilis dahil sa time-lapse. And for the second layer, I used tyro and illustration board as well. However, the third layer are scraps from illustration board, and the fourth and last layer are from cartons. So, pinagpatong-patong ko ito for the elevated part of the scale model. So guys, ganito yung itsura niya. Di siya maganda pero okay lang yan kasi matatakpan naman siya ng pintura. After that, I paste it on the base, which is a 12 by 12 plywood. Painting time, make sure to cover the base with paint. And pag natuyo na siya, paste the scale model on top of it using a stickwell. Since this is a vernacular architecture, I decided to use sustainable materials. Instead of buying sand, I used eggshells instead to reduce expenses. These eggshells are used as fertilizer supplement by my mother. So before using it, I clean it and made sure that it's dry. Then crushed it in a small blender till powderized. So paunti-unti lang ang paglalagay sa blender. Then wait and check if it's okay. So after that, put it in a plastic. And I forgot to say na wear a mask cause nakakahatching siya and mabaho, so cover your nose and wag na lang amuyin. So guys, ganito siya ang puti niya. So kailangan itong busahin para maging brownish siya kagaya ng sand. So ayan, halo-halo lang and make sure na it is low fire kasi baka masunog. Ayan, medyo brownish na siya and patay na ang kalan. Afterwards, strain it para mahiwalay yung mga malalaking particles sa maliliit. So, di siya pinong-pino pero that's fine. And, lagay siya sa dry container. Now, maglagay ng glue sa base, then pour the sand. Hanggang matakpan yung illustration board. So, diinan ito using a spoon para dumikit yung sand sa glue. Then, itaktak para maalis yung mga excess na sand na hindi dumikit. So, just repeat the process hanggang mapuno yung base. And kung okay na, I paste pebbles on the slope. So, medyo natagalan nga lang ako dito kasi Habang dinidikit ko siya sa slope, dumidikit siya sa kamay ko, pero carry lang. We can use tweezers naman. So now, for the water effect, I mix a combination of clear glue, water, and droplets of dishwashing soap para sa pandikit. I don't know kung bakit may dishwashing soap pa, ginaya ko lang siya. So, for the explanation, you can check Mark Lin of Sweden on YouTube. So, the first thing to do is to add a portion ng mixture doon sa lugar ko nasaan yung water. Then, ipatong ang tissue paper and cover it. So, ganyan yung gawin using brush para di makita yung mga patterns sa tissue. Then, apply another layer ng pandikit as well as the tissue paper. So, I think naka 3 layer ako dito. So, for the third layer, since basa pa siya, use brush para makagawa or makamold ng mga alon and water ripples. I started painting, so I used blue ng prang watercolor for the dark part, then blue-green to light blue. For the shore, I mix a combination of yellow ochre, burnt sienna, and white acrylic paints. So ayan, kailangan medyo nagpa-fade siya like sa mga beach. Used white paint para sa mga alon. Ang lalagyan ng nito is yung mga nakaangat na part, which is yung na-mold na tissue. Ito yung mga tumigas na tissue. So, lalagyan yan, and syempre sa shore din, and once na matuyo, lalagyan ng solvent for the glossy effect. Here's another view. Sobrang challenging nung paggawa ng mga tao. Here, I used copper wires na inikot that serves as the bone. So, I paste tiny bits of tissue papers hanggang mamold ang katawan ng tao. Here, I'm doing the torso, and unti-unti na ngang namomold yung legs, and then yung arms naman. Then, if you're satisfied, let it dry. Look like when it's dry na, pwede na siyang i-shape kung paano natin gusto. So, sa akin, nakaupo siya sa lounge chair, kaya ganyan. Here it is with skin tone na and damit. So, ganyan siya kaliit. Ayan, didikit ko na siya. Ay, oops, tumaob. Ayusin muna kung paanong angle ko ba siya gusto, and then, I paste it using clear glue. So here's another one. So I'm painting the skin tone using Symbolion watercolor. So ayan siya. So right now, I'm painting the clothes. So color yellow yung clothes niya. And then we're done. Ganyan siya kaliit. So pwede na tong idikit, and ayan, kinapit ko siya sa isa para di siya tumaob. Medyo ingatan ang pagdidikit kasi baka matanggal yung isa pa. And then, ayan, paste with clear glue again. Clear glue is the best. I use fake plants galing sa baul ni Mama. Copper wires for the stems. Pumili lang ako ng mga dahon na gagamitin ko, and ito na yun. And since it has 3 leaves, I'll cut it into 3. And cut each leaf gaya ng shape ng coconut leaf, which looks like this. Now, I'll paste the copper wire sa likod ng leaf. So, kailangan nasa center siya. Ayan, medyo natagalan ako kasi gumagalaw-galaw and matagal matuyo yung glue. Afterwards, cut it diagonally gaya nung sa mga coconut tree, and here's some example. Ayan, marami na akong nagawa and gugupitin na lang siya. So, ang finished product ay magiging ganito. Ako ng pair ng leaves, join them together using thread. So, yung nakalabas na part is yung may copper wire, and repeat the process on every layer of the coconut leaves hanggang kung gaano karami nyo gusto. It depends on you. So, for me, I'm okay na. Ayan, natuyo na siya, and I made 3 more. So, I'm planning to make 5 coconut trees. So, yeah, medyo madami-dami yun. And ganyan ang gagawin is parang nagbo-bloom lang ng flower. So, ayan, sa malayuan, it already looks like a coconut tree na. So, dinikit ko na siya sa twigs. And for the buko effect, I used munggo. So, I used tickwell para madikit yung munggo. And, syempre, be careful sa pagdidikit and use tweezers kasi natatanggal yung iba. We're almost done. Ito na yung coconut tree and ilalagay na lang siya scale model. Ayan, number 2, coconut tree number 2, number 3. Naayos ko siya para maganda tingnan for picture taking. Binutasan natin siya, tatakpan lang din ulit ng sand.